18th, 2025. It's a big day for elections over in Europe. A lot of elections. Elections in Portugal, elections in Poland, elections in Romania. Elections. There's elections in Argentina. And the Romanian one is interesting because it kind of defies what you would think. So I don't know. Maybe some magic happened, but we'll just kind of go through it and we'll let you decide. That's what we do here. So appreciate you all being here. Basically, when I start off these videos, it's because I'm waiting for people to enter the room. I don't think I have to tell you, but notifications and such are not the kind of things that go flying out quickly. And so we wait till we get about 30, 40 people in here, and then I start to talk. So if you're on the crisis report, just make it a rule that if maybe you're just super busy, like the guy that came on and basically told me to shut up and start talking about the news, because that's I'm here. I'm here to make his life easier. Start at about 3 or 4 minutes, okay? Start about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and start there, because that's about how long I go. I'm at about 1 minute and 40 seconds, so I'll talk for about 80 more seconds, and then I'll start to go, okay? Sometimes it goes a little bit longer, but pretty much 3 minutes, 4 minutes is about par for the course, okay? I do that because as I currently stand here, I've got 25 people. I want to get it to about 30 or 40. So when I'm talking to people, I can see the reactions and figure out what's working, what are people saying? Because you guys might say something. Check this out. This is crazy. You might say something that is interesting, and I want to share with everyone. And if I'm talking to no one there, it doesn't really happen that way. Cool? So to that person, if you're still listening, great. If not, I don't really care. You won't be seen because I've removed you. And no, that's not a freedom of speech thing. You still get to hear everything. You don't get to act like a butthead. So I don't know. It just like it's like Dance Monkey. Like, come on, man. Sorry, your time is so friggin' valuable. But yeah, we I don't know. I work hard at these reports. I put them together. I don't have to do them every day. Trust me, I'm not making any kind of a killing on these, and that's okay. I'm interested in this stuff. I want to read it. I want to see it. I want you to know. I've got people that rely on it and say, hey, your crisis report. I get reports all the time of people saying, man, thanks so much. Thanks for your hard work. So thank you all for those that like say nice things and stuff. And I don't know, like the old proverb says, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So, or check this out. Let's say you're very busy and I'm talking and we're almost to 4 minutes and you're like, oh my gosh, people might want to know exactly when it starts. Just put in, like many other people have done before, news starts at 3:57 or 2:46 or whatever, okay? So we'll say the news will start here at 3:55, okay? I really appreciate y'all. Here we go. This is your crisis report for May 18th, 2025. U.S. President Trump, foreign policy officials suggested taking out Syrian President Ahmad al-Shara, or Jalani, before his meeting with Trump. Jordanian King Abdullah II, upon learning of the discussions, warned that such an act could trigger an all-out CW in Syria. Despite pressure from his advisors, Trump was urged by foreign leaders to give al-Shara a chance. And that is according to Middle East Eye. They do great work, and that's why we go to them. U.S. Congressman Jared Moskowitz was speaking to 2 rabbis about the disappointment that the Trump administration had not started a war with Iran yet. Okay. He says that J.D. Vance wing of the Republican Party wants to cut off all aid to Israel and become isolationist. Some people are into that. Some people are not. In another instance, he said that Jewish students should not worry about protesters in universities because they're non-Jewish kids and they won't be working at Wall Street and Fortune 500 companies. In the future, they would be living in tents. If you're a congressperson or you are, of a public kind of stature, that is a example of not what to say. Okay, you might think that stuff, and I'm sure there are plenty of people that do, but there's a much more diplomatic way to say it, and you don't have to say, what he said there, but not a good look. 2025 Democracy Perception Index survey reveals that for the first time, global perceptions of China are more positive than those of the United States. Both Russia and China global reputations have improved since 2022, and this is with the whole SMO in Eastern Europe. U.S. has experienced a sharp decline since 2023. Interesting. I thought it would be Orange Man bad. Additionally, Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin seem to be more popular globally than Donald Trump, whom over half of the world views as negative. I don't believe this. I really don't. I think it's not a negative. I think they're just afraid because whenever Orange Man bad gets going, he's serious. Like I mean, look at what happened in April. He dropped the hammer on some stuff, but now things are going, and I don't know. Xi Jinping and Vlad are leaders of countries where you can't really say, things, I don't know. So if those people wanted to live in those two countries, I would strongly advise them not to. I think it would be a different experience if they had any critical things they wanted to say. We get critical on China and Russia. You tend not to be around too much longer. Excuse me. The ARM, Kwajalein, I'm going to say that, okay, which means descending eagle, sail training vessel of the Mexican Navy, has been in New York since May 13th on a goodwill visit, the United States, struck the Brooklyn Bridge. It's trying to depart the South Street seaport. Mast of the ship suffered serious damage, and over a dozen sailors were injured, according to the Secretariat of the Mexican Navy. It's actually much higher numbers now. I think it's like 30 or 40 were injured, and 2 people at last count are no longer with us. So, very serious, terrible thing happened. U.S. State Department denies reports that the Trump administration is working on a plan to relocate 1 million Palestinians to Libya, as reported by NBC. State Department and National Security Council did not respond to multiple requests for comment before the article was published. After publication, a spokesperson told NBC News these reports are untrue. The situation on the ground is untenable for such a plan, and such a plan was not discussed and makes no sense. They probably were going to say that initially, but thought, you know what, let NBC run with this stupid article so they look like a bunch of jackasses. So that's what I think. I could be wrong. U.S. to conduct next Minuteman III ICBM test launch on May 21st. Tests will validate and verify effectiveness, readiness, and accuracy of the weapon system, according to command at Vandenberg Air Force Base in California, where the launch will take place. So, Trump said he was ready to travel to China and discuss foreign policy and economic issues with Mr. Xi Jinping, Mr. Awesome Leader himself. Russia plans to launch an RS-24 intercontinental ballistic missile on the night of May 19th. Interesting. GUR warned about this. Note that the training and combat launch will be carried out with the aim of demonstratively, pressuring and intimidating Ukraine as well as EU and NATO member states. Flight range of this missile is over 10,000 kilometers. We warn you to be attentive. This is from that guy that used to get good information and went crazy and turned his entire political blog into his DJ. Yeah, and he's lost 30,000 subscribers in the process, so He's starting to get back into more intel. I think he's reading the room that people didn't sign on to his page because they wanted a DJ. They signed on because they wanted information, you know? Ukrainian armed forces, again, attempted to break through Russian state border in the Kursk region, direction of a village of Novy Putra. Russian military is actually repelling the enemy's onslaught. Iran reports Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps special forces arrive in Azerbaijan for joint military exercises in Karabakh region until the end of the month. So, Gaza war, G-side on Palestinians. Past 72 hours, U.S.-backed Israeli military operations in Gaza have killed at least 500 Palestinians, including women, children, and the elderly. Meantime, a new batch of U.S. ammunition has arrived at Ben Gurion International Airport, delivered with a C-17 Globemaster heavy transport aircraft. We had the video yesterday of Gideon's chariots. It did very well. Yeah, so that is the name of the operation. They're going into Gaza and they're dropping the hammer. Norway intends to deliver the promised F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine by end of 2025. Norwegian Defense Minister Tor O. Sandvik confirmed that some jets have already been transferred and the rest will be delivered by the end of the year following the planned schedule. However, the exact number of the jets delivered so far has not been disclosed, and for operational security reasons, ongoing consultations with Ukrainian officials are going. Denmark plans to deliver 4 more F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine as well as a new batch of 5th generation F-35 Lightning II aircraft purchased from the United States. It's been arrived to replace them. Denmark has pledged to provide a total of 19 F-16 fighters to Ukraine, most of which have already been delivered, with the remaining jets expected to be transferred by the end of 2025. NATO is insisting that Germany increase its military personnel from about 180,000 to 240,000 and 260,000 starting from 2030. This represents an increase of 60 to 80,000 troops compared to current levels. Current official German target was around 203,000 troops. NATO's demands exceed that figure. Good luck finding a bunch of purple-haired freaks that like to DJ. An explosion ripped through a reproductive center, killing at least one in Palm Springs, California. They're looking at this like it's a possible act of terror. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen commented on the upcoming conversation between Trump, Putin, and Zelensky and said next week will be decisive for Ukraine. Inauguration Mass of Pope Leo XIV took place at the Vatican. Same will happen with these sheep. This guy. Just say it, bro. Just say he had his opening ceremony and shut up. God, idiot. Biden was diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. We covered that on PrepperNow, of course. It is stage 4. It has a Gleason rating of 9, this other rating of 5, which means it is moving. It is a problem. I put on the video, hey, try to be nice. Like, I don't know. I was never happy with the Biden administration, and I'm not going to sink though and be like, ecstatic or say nasty stuff when he gets this thing. Other people mention karma and other things, and good luck, bro. The video I saw today earlier said you need some Jesus. Yes, you do, sir. Y'all need Jesus. Initial exit polls from Romanian elections suggest a surprise win for the pro-EU candidate, Nicurser Dan. Wow, this came out of left field. I'm sure nothing happened at all. That would be weird. To make it so, the candidate that had multiple people saying that he would win, the anti-war candidate, magically just did not win. I wonder what happened. Both candidates claimed victory in Romania's election. He basically claimed it, and then he sent his person out. It's really suspect. I'll just leave it at that. The guy was crushing the other dude in the polls and in everything, like metrics. You know, there's ways to check stuff. There is actually a science to politics. And when something happens like this, and in other, you know, things that have happened in the past, not that we don't know anything about that in America, it's off for a reason. It feels wrong for a reason. And so to all these people that come out, like they come out and say that, you don't care. You don't care. You don't care what the will of the people is. So stop. Oh, wait, what's that? French domestic intelligence chief asked Telegram CEO to ban conservative voices in Romania ahead of elections. Whoa, really? You are democracy. How do you say it in French? Democracy. Now, this guy's denying it. I'll get there. But, I mean, good Lord. I don't know. I don't know if the guy did it or not. Maybe it's not true. Pavel Durov said he did it, but this whole thing is you mark my words. We're going to learn a lot more. Strange things are afoot in Europe. I'll just leave it at that. At least 96 people have been killed and more than 140 injured since Sunday morning. Israeli strikes on Gaza Strip. Iranian Foreign Minister Arakchi says work is underway to set a date for the next round of talks with Washington, and it will be announced soon. Ukrainian military intelligence, Russia is preparing for a training and combat launch of the RS-24 intercontinental ballistic missile at night. Trump's envoy Wyckoff says, I think we will be meeting with the Iranians this week in Europe, and we hope it will bring some positive results. That's the two. Israeli army announced start of the large-scale ground operation in the north and south of the Gaza Strip. U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent says Walmart is going to eat some of the tariffs. Good. By the way, go check out the PrepperNow video from earlier, where Kroger basically got caught screwing people over on sale items. Europe is an important ally of the U.S., but we have some disagreements on trade. Yep, we are going to disagree. That is correct, J.D. Vance. A Western European government, guess which one? Approached Telegram asking us to silence conservative voices in Romania ahead of today's presidential elections. They flatly refused. Telegram will not restrict the freedoms of Romanian users or block their political channels. You can't defend democracy by destroying democracy. You can't fight election interference by interfering with elections. You either have freedom of speech and fair elections or you don't. And the Romanian people deserve both. I forget which. Okay. I guess that's Pavel Durov. I mean, is he wrong? We will carry out military operations against Ben Gurion Airport and other airports in the coming hours due to escalation in Gaza. That's the Houthis. Romanian Foreign Ministry says there are signs of Russian interference in Romania's presidential elections. I think this guy called it a little earlier. I don't think he got the memo. Hey, bro, we got this under control. Wait, what's that? A water main break? But wait, breaking. Centrist candidate Nicur Dan is leading magically with his opponent. According to exit polls, it is magic. Nicur Dan is expected to win. Strange. Dan's opponent, anti-EU Simeon, says his count estimates that he has 400,000 more votes than Dan. But no, that doesn't matter. Ruh-roh. Romanian presidential election results. According to exit poll data, Nicur Dan got the magic 55 to 45. Pro-EU, who could have saw that coming? Nationalist, anti-EU candidate? Oh, sorry. All the boomers came out, right? Just like Canada. Romanian anti-EU presidential candidate Simeon has declared victory in the election. Despite previously released exit poll data, he will rescind that because he'll probably get thrown in jail if he keeps it up. Netanyahu says we have launched a powerful campaign against Hamas. Our forces are entering the Strip by force. Netanyahu on the Houthis says it's not over. There will still be exchanges of blows. They still will feel the comfort of our arm. We know who is behind them. It's Iran. Our eyes are open there. Iranian presidency says reaching an agreement with the U.S. is possible, providing it avoids coercion and bullying, and we will not submit to dictates under any circumstances. Candidates from the ruling Civic Coalition, Rafael Tchaikovsky, and the largest opposition party, Law and Justice, Karol Nawrocki, have advanced to the second round of the Polish presidential election, according to the exit polls. Voters in Poland will head to the runoff on June 1st. These are, I believe they are, let's see, from the ruling Civic Coalition and the largest opposition party, Law and Justice. I believe the Law and Justice one is the conservatives, the terrifying nationalists, those that want their country to not be overrun. Netanyahu has approved the resumption of humanitarian aid going into Gaza. Israeli Minister of Defense, quote, we will only allow the bare minimum amount of humanitarian aid into Gaza. We will not let Hamas use this aid. We will make sure that this humanitarian aid is no more than the food required to survive. Our objective in Gideon's chariots will be achieved. Hamas will be destroyed. A lot of people have been unhappy with this whole thing, but basically they got forced to give them food. In a major win, Hezbollah didn't lose a single seat in today's Lebanese municipal elections in Beirut, Baalbek, and Bekaa, an important sign that its supporter base is still steadfast and behind the party. And Lord knows, I'm sure everything was on the up and up in that election. Iran's Foreign Minister Syed Abbas Araghchi, in response to Wyckoff's, the Wyckoff's remarks are completely detached from the reality of the negotiations. Uranium enrichment will continue in Iran. If the United States continues to make unrealistic demands, it is only natural that there won't be an agreement, according to Tasnim, which is one of their news services. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, Iran will keep enriching uranium with or without an agreement, according to Associated Foreign Press. IDF spokesperson Brigadier General Effie Duferin, we are going through a phase of fighting. During the operation, we will expand operational control in the Gaza Strip while dissecting the Strip and moving the population in all the places where we operate. We have assimilated lessons from the fighting so far. 5 divisions are currently operating in the Strip. Unlike before, we are now concentrating on offensive efforts in the Gaza Strip until a decision is made. Now the threat is being realized. We have carried out an extensive reservist mobilization. The reservists understand the urgency of the situation and the magnitude of the hour and have shown up in large numbers. France denies interfering in Romanian elections. The French Foreign Ministry has rejected accusations that Paris attempted to meddle in Romania's electoral process. Response comes after Telegram founder Pavel Durov revealed that he had refused a request from a Western European country to block conservative Romanian channels and on the platform. Though Durov didn't name the country directly, he included a baguette emoji in his post. Friedrich Merz, Germany, is going to attempt seizure of frozen Russian assets. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz stated that significant attention is currently being paid to the issue of confiscating frozen Russian assets. If a way to implement this is on solid legal basis emerges, Germany will push for the seizure of Russia's assets. No one is actually going to confiscate anything. This is because the majority of the assets are bonds that continue to generate interest. They can talk about confiscation all they want on the live TV, but if they actually seize the Russian bonds, their value will plummet and there will be no profit to collect. It's true. Interesting. Hillary Clinton has criticized President Trump's push for Americans to have more children, saying that that's what immigrants are for. FBI has reportedly discovered previously undisclosed material linked to the Russia collusion investigation and will have a public release anticipated soon. Pam Bondi is pushing to give federal prosecutors the power to indict members of Congress without needing approval from the DOJ's Public Integrity Section. I think that's due to all the people getting arrested at the ICE facility outside of frickin' Jersey. Ed Martin, DOJ's newly appointed pardon attorney, has announced the launch of an investigation into President Biden's pardons. 99.13% of legislative elections ballots counted in Portugal shows a clear victory for the Conservative Democrat Alliance bloc, which has 32.15%. And I believe that is the conservative group there. Socialist Party came in second, 23%. Portuguese Nationalist Chega Party, they're the far right, came in third, 23%. So that means conservatives got about 55% in Portugal. Market Liberal Libertarian Liberal Initiative came in with fourth with 5.5%. Below them, the Free Party or the Greens, 4%. Communist Party of Portugal, 3%. And the Left Bloc with 1.99%. Ironically, some members of the monarchist PPM, which left the Democratic Alliance earlier this year, managed to get elected with support of the AD in some areas with 3 members. The Madeira Island regionalists also entered the parliament. George Simeon personally refused to admit defeat, so he sent his deputy, Marius Lulia, to do it for him. In a long Facebook post, Lulia thanked the 5.2 million Romanians who voted for George Simeon, admitting defeat in the process. He thanked all AUR members for their efforts, but says that Romania is a politically captured state where the law is not applied to everyone equally. Lulea then praised George Simeon for his leadership and for his ability to inspire confidence. He also thanked Călin Georgescu for the support he offered to AUR and Simeon. Lulea promises to continue to fight for the traditional Christian conservative Romanians in the future. Mike Flynn exposed Europe's pursuit of tyranny. He said that Telegram CEO Pavel Durov earlier revealed that Nicholas Lerner, former head of the French intelligence, tried to censor conservative voices in Romania, supposedly. They appeared to want tyranny, socialism, and war when the American people want freedom, democracy, and peace, he wrote on X. Shoppers at Kroger-owned stores may be unknowingly paying more to check out due to pricing errors, according to a Consumer Reports investigation with The Guardian and the Food and Environment Reporting Network. Not a good look, Kroger. Even if you don't shop at Kroger, similar issues have been found at other retailers, according to Consumer Reports. Those retailers would be Albertsons and Walmart. Investigators found expired sale tags on over 150 grocery items, leading to overcharges on products like beef, salmon, coffee, juice, vegetables, cough medicine, and dog food. Imagine picking up an item on sale only to be charged full price at checkout. That's exactly what Consumer Reports says is happening at Kroger-owned stores across the country. So, bad juju, Kroger. We talked about that over on the PrepperNow tonight. If you could be so inclined to check that video. We talked about other stuff, but had a nice conversation over there. Then we brought it over here because this is where the details are put in. I really appreciate y'all being here. Hit those buttons, darken out the bell, get the notifications, and become a subscriber, please. And if you want to leave a comment and all that other stuff and likes and yada, 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 we'd love to have it. Love to have you here. because the Crisis Report keeps churning on most comprehensive news on YouTube, and we do it nightly because, well, you deserve nothing less. Friends, God bless you all for being here. Thank you, and we will see you on the next one.